See you, Lou. I'll bring you up right after the intro. Hey, Carrie. Got a little soul speak on the ascension that we all share. This unveiling, this apocalypse. You know, all this discussion of what is reality, conspiracy, heresy, truth that's stranger than fiction. Doesn't get any better than this. It's not just time to bring on the apocalypse, it's time to start riding it. It's not going to hurt us. Because one thing's for sure, in our conscious mind and even in our subconscious, if that's what you want to call it, we have always survived. And the reason for that is because we never die. So when it comes to ascension, what else is there to talk about? This ascension, unveiling, is not complicated. It's just a microcosm of the state of our being from any point, from this present moment to any point in our past. And in regard to the past, now we can look back to see, to awaken without the element of linear time. Yeah. Because the wisdom still comes. Because the universe is never late. That means we can take from our past the powerful wisdom of the eternal moments, seen when we unveil the hurts and the blame given and received. You know, we've reached a point where forgiveness will cease to exist. Because perfection did not create forgiveness, but as a path to a higher perfection, a new reflection of itself, of ourselves. Yeah, it's true. It's just not necessary forgiveness, and neither is earth love. So we can stop chasing both right now and all the false securities and failed searches that go with the lofty goals of a moral world. Both the things that they put beyond our reach and the reasons they gave us for not being able to reach them. It's time to re-enter the fold of the immortal, the fold of the I Am soul. What's happening, Lou Martin?
Todd Medina, soul brother.
It's a pleasure.
Peace and blessings. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. You too. An honor. You're really doing the work out there, man. Thanks for having me on.
I think we're all doing the work. I don't think we have any choice.
I agree with that. I absolutely. Yeah.
I've seen you out there for 2-3 years, popping up.
Okay.
Very, very raw, very authentic, connected.
Thank you.
Shadowed, like all of us.
Sure.
I am soul is just another way of saying I'm not afraid to show my ass.
There you go. Yeah, we're all in the same boat together. This is right? It's being human is being real. That's the cry for our time, isn't it?
Isn't it? The human is the hero.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, why are we conscious 16 hours a day? And with this the last few months of the ascension, like maybe 21 hours a day. But
yeah. Sorry, go on.
No, I'm just saying it's like we've come full circle.
Yeah, I'm just thinking John Lennon's line, "Why are we here?" surely not to live in pain and fear, you
Yeah.
know, instant karma. And yeah, you know, it's our own personal journey and story with facing and overcoming pain and fear that inspires us and motivates us to shine our light and share our love. And this is what the world is seeking, is hope and inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, you know, it's funny that you bring that up because over the last couple of nights, I like to listen to commentary, you know, and poetry and whatever narrative.
Mm-hmm.
And I was listening to, I don't know how I got on it. You know, how you just like glide through the news feed of YouTube or Facebook, whatever, and it just finds you.
Right.
And I was watching this talk show where Mike Tyson was the guest, and it was a snippet. It was a snippet from the talk show, and he was
Right.
talking about fear. And
Right.
he was talking about how he was trained by Cus de Amato, the great trainer,
Mm.
who was also very much a philosopher. How
Mm.
fear was the gateway.
Mm.
How when you and Tyson went on to say, when you get to that point where there's no fear, that's it. That's
Mm-hmm.
when it's spectacular happens. That's when the magic happens. And he
Mm-hmm.
just said it'll never go away.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then, you know, from there I went on to a couple more that I found talking about fear. And
Mm-hmm.
because they were, I wanted to share one of them, but because they were taking you deep into the darkness,
Mm-hmm.
it's almost like that message has penetrated enough, and
Mm-hmm.
now we cannot be afraid, you know. We're
Mm-hmm.
eternal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, no, that's beautiful. I mean, respect to Mike Tyson too. He's a brother who's come a long, long way in this lifetime, from what I can see. You know, yeah, from fighting in the streets to taking ayahuasca. You know, he's really searched his soul.
Yeah.
Yeah, my guides that I channel, they say, face your fears, feel your feelings, find your freedom, and that's it. There's always going to be the unknown and the mystery and chaos and a challenge and crisis, which, you know, we're in a planetary healing crisis right now with the virus here, as far as I can see. And it's what is the opportunity for growth for each of us, you know, that we've invited this into our experience, that we couldn't allow in an easier or a simpler way. What's the doorway that this is opening us to find? So I don't have all the answers, but I'm happy to ask the questions, you know.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, the questions are so important, you know.
Yeah.
And it's almost like the universe is backing us into a corner and saying, "You want to see the light? Then look." Just
Right.
look at
Right.
it, man. This is your
Right.
creation here. You can see it as, you know, a crisis coming up, or you can see it as a hell of a ride, you know. I mean, what
Mm-hmm.
can you do but what you can do? And the great
Mm-hmm.
thing about it is what you can do. Balanced, centered at peace, fearless
Mm-hmm.
in the
Mm-hmm.
soft sense of the word, in the compassionate sense of the word,
Mm-hmm.
fearlessness from the soul. That's
Mm-hmm.
actually the greatest contribution you can make to the collective. And it's, what is it? It's just being you.
Yes. Yes, that's beautifully said, Todd. You know, to live from the inside out, to know the truth that sets us free, to be able to touch the face of God, you know, and find that peace inside of us. My guides say peace is the presence of infinite possibilities. And to me, that's the touchstone that I try to crawl up to every day, you know, between my shadow and my light. You know, when I can feel that, then clarity, inspiration, ideas, courage, wisdom start to
Yeah.
flow, you know.
Yeah. They all flow together too.
That's
And
right.
and what are your thoughts on this? Like, I mean, you know, people talk about ascension. I look at it, anything as a potential program, a potential propaganda from, you know, it's got to be, if it's coming from a human, it's got to have
Mm-hmm.
some level of shadow or whatever, but that's part of the process, part of the lessons. But that there is a universal energy, a collective energy that's expanding, that feels
Mm-hmm.
like it's coming out from outside of ourselves. It's actually supporting this elevation
Mm-hmm.
by either allowing you to flow with it, or be dragged, depending on what you choose.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, does it feel like that there's a greater God atmosphere than there was,
Oh
say,
yeah.
20 years ago or 30 years ago?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, man. Definitely. I mean, this is what all my teachers and guides, that's the song they sing, is that we have no idea really who we are, but we're going to find out, and that we've come a huge long way, and that there's more love and support and guidance than we could possibly imagine. And, as we're saying here, the key is to feel open to that, and worthy of that, trusting of that, receptive to that. And crisis demands resolution, and so it causes us to search our soul. That's its purpose. Like we're saying here, the darkness is to get us to find and shine our light, and the bigger the darkness, the greater the need to know how to find and shine our light. So I'm sure, in this planetary healing crisis that we've all co-created here, there is going to be a lot of new ideas, new modalities, new tools and techniques, new connections around the world with all of humanity, and with respect for our own health and for Mother Earth and the gift of life. I think we're taking a crash course in all this right now, and God's here to help us. I have no doubt.
Yeah, we're being helped along, and it's like in every moment, this what you describe is in every moment. And that seems to be one of the characteristics of the energy that I queried about, is that whatever you need to clear or integrate is coming around on a more frequent basis
Right.
until you pull your head out of your universal ass
Yeah.
and realize, and I'm joking about it, but it's true. And it's a very, it's a very
A lot of humor
courageous,
is true. Yeah.
but it's a very courageous thing to do.
Yeah.
To stand up and speak your truth to someone else.
Sure.
But it is a different level of courage when you have to speak to yourself.
Sure.
And and I think that's what I think. Right? Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of that going on.
Yeah. I think, I love what you're saying. Is there more God in the world? I think, the paradox is, there's as much love and God and light as we will let in. And yes, over the last 30 years or so, we've all been on a much deeper search than ever before inside of ourselves and in our lives. And so God shows up when we're receptive to that and open to that. And yeah, to me, the other part of it is the human ego, the false self, the shadow, the disguise, the pretense. Trump is the liar in chief. He's the dishonesty in chief. He's the denial in chief. Every day it's like, well, what's today's lies? And now we're lying about life and death. It's like, well, folks, this is getting really, really important now, isn't it? We better figure out what the truth is here.
Yeah. And then that other conundrum. We live in this more extreme duality as we gain higher awareness, because the more that's disclosed, the higher our awareness is, ignited to go. And
potentially, yeah.
But so the conundrum to me is, what is light? What is dark? I mean, I know they're one and the same. I know from a higher awareness, but I feel like we're on a mission to embody that and bring it into the
Sure.
And so it's like too much light is the same as too much dark. If I'm on one side or the other side of a fence, then I am the separation. If I am too much QAnon or too much coronavirus or too much this or too much that, then I am the separation. And this is, I think, what we're being driven to.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, well, it's, there's Dolores Cannon, Brian Weiss. There's some wonderful hypnotherapy folks, Michael Newton, who did Journey of Souls, who've used hypnosis. There's Allison Coe from Seattle. She's out there, does the same thing. They've used hypnosis as a way to access that higher mind outside of the personality and the society and all that. And basically, there was one story about someone who had a headache, and the hypnotherapist said, well, go into the pain of that headache, and it was darkness. And then the darkness was conversing with the patient, and the therapist said, can I bring some light into the darkness? And the darkness retreated and said, no, I'm afraid of the light. And like, okay, makes sense. Eventually there was a little light that was able to be brought into the darkness, and the darkness became light. And the darkness was like, I didn't know this.
Yeah.
I didn't know that I could be light.
That's a
And
parable. That's a parable that should be in all the sacred texts. It's like the light is the light is the darkness you've been standing in all along.
yes,
You
yes,
know?
yes, yes. So I mean, transcending personality and judgment and society and
Yeah.
all these identities that we all live in and struggle to get beyond, the darkness is the unknown, the mystery, the infinite.
Yeah.
This is my
The
way of
womb.
handling it.
It's the
The
womb.
womb, beautiful, yeah, of creation, yeah,
I love your description earlier about the darkness, and
yeah,
basically finding your way out, creating your way out, a new
yeah,
creation, rebirthing back into the womb, back into the darkness. And it just plays over and over and over again, you
yeah,
know?
yeah. Well, the light, absolutely, the light to my mind is the creation itself, and the darkness and the light together then create the new thing.
Yeah.
You see, darkness is the infinite, light is the immediate, the temporary, the focus. And then when they dance together in the sacred marriage of creation, then something new happens. And so we need the darkness to find the light, of course.
Yeah.
You
We're
know.
birthing new universes,
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
imagination is coming into gear, and it has a
Mm-hmm.
different meaning than the old meaning.
Mm-hmm.
It's our path to all of our multi-dimensional aspects, dimensions, information.
Yeah.
We're starting to be able to decipher these things and understand how metaphorical they are and how everything is energy.
Mm-hmm.
And we're beginning to forge our existence, which is very human.
Yeah.
That's almost like the elixir for the whole thing. That's almost like what makes it like say it's a cocktail, one of those flaming cocktails. That's what makes it go on fire, is that
Right.
the human gets to participate.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying this earlier, it's almost like our armor. And I mean armor in the sense of getting ready to go do something. If you look good, you feel good kind of thing, like the human's starting to get some respect. And the more respect it gets,
Excuse
the
me.
more beautiful and magical this thing that's happening is happening. We just have to accept it because
Yeah.
that other side will be there. That is the catalyst.
Yes. 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 It's when we get overwhelmed by it, Todd, or we deny it, or we project it onto each other,
Yeah.
then we're lost in it, you see. But so my guides say, shine your light and share your love. So light is the wisdom, the
Yeah.
illumination, the clarity, and then the love is the compassion, the mercy, the
Yeah.
kindness. And to know our oneness, that's the journey to me of humanity freeing itself, and we can
Yeah.
all see ourselves in each other with love and respect.
Yeah. And still retain our unique aspect,
Yes.
yeah. My guides or whatever told me, 8-9 years
Yeah.
ago, there is
Yeah.
one, there is a perfect order of the universe,
Mm-hmm.
and we are all one unique and equal soul in this realm.
Mm-hmm.
To me
Mm-hmm.
meant like maybe beyond the math is different, but in this realm, this uniqueness, this individuality
Mm-hmm.
is as much is an expression, you
Mm-hmm.
know, of our heart, of our soul, where we're at, of our growth, So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the human story, is incredible.
Yeah.
If we
Imagine the
think,
courage it takes to be born, you know?
yeah, yes,
Step into this. Yeah.
Morgan just downloaded like 3 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she always gets stuff early, like, and I think she wrote a post on it, part one. I said, "There's more." She said, "Yeah." And
Mm-hmm.
what it was we were clearing the original wound, which was uh, what is it called? Separation
Right.
disorder. Because we woke up in a place and we were no longer home. We didn't have our mother, father. Now we got a new one, and there it is. And that the opposite of that was not wanting to be out social, antisocial. which a
Mm-hmm.
lot of
Mm-hmm.
empaths can relate to.
Mm-hmm.
And and we were talking and we were like, this feels like, what else can there be after this? This takes us back to the original incarnation of whatever we're into. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know.
Yeah.
There can
Well,
always be another one, but to me that seems like a big deal for empaths to integrate now, because their voice is needed, their energy is needed. This is it.
sure. Sure. Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that, my friend. Um, we are really going to be needing to, as we are, speaking truth to power in our world, in ourselves, in each other. Finding our power, taking our power back. And yeah, I mean, the angels, the beings of light, the guides, the guardians, teachers, and friends, etc. However we experience our higher self, soul, and spirit, all of that, to me, that's what the future of the planet is, that we don't live in that illusion of separation any longer. We can reach to each other, we can connect with each other. And again, life-changing, life-threatening crisis demands that we humble ourselves, and that we become vulnerable, and we open ourselves up to what we don't know,
Yeah.
and find the light in the darkness, find
Yeah.
the healing in the trauma and all that. Be open to
Yeah.
things changing.
Yeah, and while we're getting these downloads or elevating, however that sequence works, and the consciousness is getting expanded. I mean, you get to a point where you realize it's not going to be like we're all walking down the street one day and we go, "Oh, oh, that's what we were doing."
Right, right.
There's a journey to it, and
Yeah,
part of that journey is, I don't know, like we're walking down the street and you're hearing other people's thoughts,
right,
and
right,
telepathy is becoming embodied in a
right,
deep way.
right.
This is the
Yes,
journey, and this is the opportunity for expansion, because every one of those things that's put in front of us has both aspects in this realm that we're integrating, dark,
right,
light. I
right,
mean,
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Without fear or judgment. That's the
yeah,
secret to me, that we
yeah,
be compassionate and allowing and tolerant and merciful, and respectful of everyone's experience. Of course, everyone
yeah,
is coming from what they believe is their deepest truth and living their best life to the best of their ability.
absolutely,
And we
man.
we all have something to teach each other,
Yeah, we're all warriors and warrioresses. I mean,
right?
don't forget, I always say to myself,
Okay.
go easy on yourself, Todd. Go easy on yourself.
Yeah, man.
But go easy on others too. They're going through the same damn thing, and maybe we're all beating at the same vibration. It just doesn't look that way.
Sure. Sure. No, now you've really touched on one of my favorite current subjects, brother, which is how hard everyone is on themselves, and how when we get short or impatient or fearful or angry or judgmental with each other, it's because we think we're being tolerant and kind because we're being so merciless to ourselves. So yeah, if I can be kind, if I can be a space for grace, that's the way my friends teach me, then hopefully I can be a space for acceptance and grace for others as well.
That's awesome. I like that. I'm a poet.
Yes, I
Space,
can tell.
the space of grace.
Yeah, your introduction was gorgeous, I want to say. It was lovely. Yeah.
I like that. That's a good rap tune right there. The space of
Thank you.
grace.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Well,
that's nice.
I'll send you my little ebooks so you can check that stuff out if
Yes.
you like. Yeah.
Oh, you got some. Oh, you got some stuff in writing. You got some books. What are they at? What are
Yes,
they
yes, I
about?
have two. Well, this is the channeling, and
Oh, yeah.
my guides say you're here to learn to listen to, trust, and follow your loving inner guidance. The way you do that is by coming into peace as often and as deeply as possible. And there you learn how to take your power back and to inspire and empower others. That's the thumbnail sketch here at the moment. I've got a jillion of their quotes, floating around in my head somewhere, but that's what comes to the surface.
Very cool. I didn't know that you channeled. That's cool. Let's talk about this. This is very interesting. And of course, one of the reasons we do this is because people are going through stuff that's similar.
Sure, sure.
We don't all see it the same way, but I mean
No,
it's real. I mean,
yeah,
anyway. So like, okay, so how long you been channeling?
27 years.
27 years. And what was it like at the very beginning? I mean, how did it
Well,
start?
yeah. So, I mean, it was just, it's kind of a fairy story. I was living in LA and working in a spiritual bookstore in my late 20s. And I met a friend. I started to meditate at that point, and I started reading Ram Dass and Deepak Chopra and people like this. And I met a friend, and he said, here's a piece of quartz crystal. And if you meditate with a piece of quartz crystal, there's this thing called Kundalini energy, and it rests in your spine. And if you meditate with it, you might open your Kundalini energy. And I swear to God, Todd, the first time I did that, I had this spontaneous Kundalini awakening in meditation, which was ecstatic and lightning and orgasms up the spine and out of my mind for about a week. And it was real lovely experience. So that was my before and after. And then so over the next 5 years, that was around the harmonic convergence in 1987, just when I was turning 30 in September. And for 5 years, I studied with Lazarus, who's a wonderful spirit guide, through Jack Purcell and other teachers, Michael Beckwith and others. And so I took a class in channeling and got activated, and I've been channeling my guides ever since.
Wow. That's pretty cool, man. I didn't know they had channeling schools like that, or channeling courses.
Yeah.
So, like, okay, so like the first time they came in, or in those early days, how did they identify themselves? How did you see them? And up to today, how do they identify themselves, and how do you see them? Has your perspective changed? Is it, what's your take on that?
Sure. No, those are great questions, man. It's an energy, and it literally comes down my head and into my body. And it's been consistently the same for 27 years. And excuse me, it expands my consciousness. There's trance channeling, where you're not present, you're kind of in a dream state. And then there's conscious channeling, which is what I do, where I'm still present and aware of what's happening while it's coming through my conscious mind. So it's kind of me and more than me, and it's a trip. It's good fun.
Wow,
I recommend it to everyone.
That's trippy, man. That's really, really cool. So what kind of information do you get? I guess, okay, so what kind of information do you get? And is it just personal? Is it collective?
Oh yeah, it's both. I mean, it's just I know Shannon, our friend Shannon from Northern Ireland, and you've had her on, and she does the Freedom Network. But I haven't listened. Shanine, there we go. Okay, sorry.
It took me like 10 shows to get her name right.
Okay. Well, you're ahead of me. See, so
I called her all kinds of names for about 10 shows. No, that's cool.
Good. Yeah. I stand corrected. It's good. Yes. So she and I connected, and we did a couple of chats, and that's how I think you and I connected here as well, which is great. But what kind of information? I mean, it is love and light. It is, that we're living in this time of unprecedented spiritual awakening on the planet. Yeah. We've been preparing for this time for lifetimes. And those of us that are irresistibly drawn towards spiritual wisdom and ideas and empowerment and all of that, we're a soul family, basically. We're this light tribe of spiritual warriors to help people awaken to their own spiritual nature while we learn how to awaken to ours. So it's just been a beautiful, amazing process.
Yeah, we're either brave as hell or crazy as hell.
or both. Yeah. In equal measure.
So
yes. So my job title is Holy Fool. That's my official job title.
What, a holy fool?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So
well,
that's brave and crazy together.
Yeah, right. There's this brother out of I think Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Okay.
Or Brasilia, Brazil.
Okay.
Buceo Angonje. I don't know if I can say his name. It's Portuguese.
Okay.
Anyway, I've asked him to be on the show a couple of times, but he won't do it because what he does is he just puts stuff out. He puts stuff out. Mind, thought-provoking things like that.
Yeah.
And I forgot why I brought that up, because what were you saying?
Well, we're just talking about channeling in general. What I want to say, it's a skill anyone can learn to do. Honestly, it's not just for special people or whatever. It's just absolutely a skill we can all learn. Yeah. I mean, when you're writing poetry, you're channeling.
Yeah. And I don't know why I brought him up. Something he had just said, but we can come back to it. So
Okay.
now does it come in whenever it wants? Do you connect with it when you want, or a little of both?
Yeah, no, it's on call, and I can do it anytime I like, basically.
Yeah, that's cool. We could
Thank you.
we could
We could do some of that.
we can do that right now if you want to.
Sure. No, that's
I
fine.
like to do
Yeah.
everything spontaneously, and it feels right, man.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Well, I'll just come in. What usually the way it usually works is we'll just give like a little bit of a message, and bring some
Hmm.
light through everyone who's listening. And then if you want to ask questions or make
Okay.
comments or anything, yeah, that's where it gets exciting.
Oh, cool. Okay, we
Yeah,
can do that.
yeah,
Yeah, let's
yes.
do that.
And so I just call them divine love. It's not like because the thing what people don't understand so much about spirit is there are beings and they have identities, but they're not overly attached to them, you see,
Yeah.
the way human beings are.
Yeah.
And so basically divine love is as good a title as any for
Yeah, it's like an energy complex.
yes,
It's a compilation of many parts of us, I guess.
that's right, that's well said. Yes, higher self, soul, and spirit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so here we go. So Todd, go ahead if you want and close your eyes and take a deep breath, and everyone listening. Right, God bless you, dear friends. Here we come one more time. So let's bring 7 stars that represent your spiritual dimension, dear friends, spiraling down through time and space, touching the crown of your head. Take a deep breath if you're ready. Relax and release down the 7 chakra centers, crown, third eye, throat, and heart. Take another breath when you're ready, dear ones. Feeling connected to all that is, down the 7 centers, will center, tummy, sacral, root, hips, legs, feet. Take another breath. And let everything go down into Mother Earth, down, a pillar of light, dear friends, above and below, left and right, before, behind, within and all around. God bless you. All right. So, dear ones, here's the message for the moment here as you go through these times of great initiation and great intensification. God bless you, dear friends, and great activation. You're seeking your beautiful conversation here of light in the darkness. Yeah, finding the light in the darkness, dear friends. So the darkness provides the contrast that invites your response. And your growth as a soul, dear friends, each of you here, is to learn how to respond rather than to react, how to come from love and compassion, God bless you, dear friends, rather than fear and hatred. So in this time, the light workers of the planet have been deeply asked by your reality here, yeah, to respond from love and light, from compassion and courage, dear friends, to face those illusions of separation, those fears of lack or struggle, or of life not being safe, or you not being enough, whatever it might be, and to give yourself time every day to take time and make space for peace, to come into a space for grace as we create it with you here and now. And dear friends, to simply hold those difficulties, those challenges in your mind's eye, in your hands, in your heart, and to offer them up to your loving higher power, dear friends. Whatever you feel inspired and empowered by, whatever name you use, and take a deep breath. I surrender, I release, and I let go of any fears, doubts, worries, or concerns that I have been carrying that no longer serve me on my path of happiness, health, joy, and freedom. Take another breath. Dear friends, and I offer this to everyone in my life and in my world who is ready, willing, and available to learn how to live through love and joy, letting go of fear and struggle. I bless this situation. I call forth its highest purpose, and I allow myself to align to that within me from this moment forward. I give thanks. I let it be. It is so, and so it is. Take a deep breath. And dear friends, that's a very simple and easy way to work with the contrast that's doing such powerful work in everyone's consciousness here and now in your world. So Todd, thank you for the invitation, dear friend. We're happy for any questions or comments you might want to share.
Yeah, that was very good. I think
Thank
everybody
you.
has that voice, you know. I mean, I just said a minute ago, I didn't know there was channeling classes, but what is that?
Right.
That is, I know that. I mean, I'm like, mine may be, you know, something I paint or somebody else
Yes.
they write, or,
Yes.
but that flow, it's spontaneous, it's intuitive, it's
Yes.
creative,
Yes.
it's
Dear
creative, and
friend.
and
Yes.
has a very distinct frequency.
Yes. You use the perfect word, dear friend. Look at you. You're a poet. Yeah. God bless you.
Yeah,
Dear friend.
I'm
Yes.
so so.
Y-
Let me ask you a question. So, would
Very
you
good.
say we are closer to becoming our higher selves, or would it be more correct to say we are our higher selves?
Well, that is again well said, dear friend. Both are true. You see,
Yeah.
and so that's the heart of the paradox right there. You've got it completely right, dear friend. You are your higher self in essence, and you're from the level of your consciousness as your higher self. You create all of these lifetimes outside of time and space, and in one of these lifetimes, this one for many of you, you are accelerating your spiritual path, and the universe is responding to your intense and increased focus. And so you are learning and remembering, God bless you, dear friends, the gifts, talents, and abilities of the artist, the teacher, and the healer, which are three different ways of saying a very similar thing, dear friends. To be any of those is to, the word we would add here is to use what you trust, dear friend. Yeah. When you're in that vibration, that frequency, that inspiration, yeah, you're raising your antenna, you're raising your hopes, dear friends, you're raising your heart, and you're opening the door of your consciousness, and you're letting us come and bring those ideas and those inspirations to you and through you that are of best service for what you're asking for in the moment.
Mm. Will we see, and if so, is it close? Um, what we might have considered 5 years ago, 10 years ago, supernatural abilities, where publicly people are their light body might be obvious, or their energy coming from their hands, or their energy field, or teleportation, or telekinesis, you know, becomes more
God bless you.
mainstream. Would this
Yes.
stuff does this stuff is this going to happen as we physicalize, you know, bring in embody
Yeah.
these higher skills and abilities?
Yeah, dear friend, it truly so. You can't live on this planet over the next 10, 20, 30 years without experiencing those gifts and abilities. As the planet continues to raise its vibration, you see, Todd, what stands in the way, what impedes those experiences, what interferes with those, the clash of the paradigms, we call it, Todd, yeah? So there's a lot of belief and fear in the world, as you can all see quite obviously at this moment. And there's also, of course, dear friends, a deep knowledge of love and the power of love and great compassion and courage and selflessness and healing and generosity. So, yes, these gifts and abilities from this and other lifetimes are coming more and more online, especially for people of a younger vibration, but not exclusively. And dear friends, as you are open to them, so you will perceive them in others, experience reading about them, etc., and feel inspired to follow in their example and their footsteps to align your vibration to those gifts within yourself. Does it make sense?
Yes, it does make sense. And
Okay.
would it to well, I'll just ask the question. Um,
Yes, do.
is there
Dear friend, you're absolutely
will
fine.
there be, as that energetic force expands, these abilities and skills and awareness and everything that goes with it, will there continue to be a polar opposite, a pocket of fear, regardless of how big or little it is? But will we come to a point where that ends and there is no polarity? Is that the Trinity?
Well, dear friend, truly, it's a very pertinent, relevant question to what's happening right now. You are in the middle of an experiment on this planet that has shifted focus dramatically over the last few months. Everyone here, everyone alive at this moment, who has deepened your willingness to confront, to overcome, to heal the fears that prevent, have impeded, have the unconscious fears and judgments and prejudices, as we've spoken of, towards self, towards others, that make those gifts and abilities, yes, slightly out of reach. But as you get through this initiation, which you all will, we're happy to tell you, yeah, and open your hearts more to yourselves and each other, to Mother Earth and to Spirit, dear friends, however you perceive and experience Spirit. Each one does it in their own perfect way, dear friends, 100%. As you trust that more, to come back to our theme here, so yes, you will see more people taking on these abilities in loving service to others, absolutely, as well as to themselves. And there will be less conflict, fear, judgment, and separation. So there is a great separating of vibration happening in this year, in setting the tone and the intention collectively as never before for this entire decade and beyond. It's a great, powerful time of awakening happening around fear and the love that is here to help to heal those fears.
Excellent explanation. Will we be able to, uh, let's see, will we be able to maintain our balance and continue our expansion as the extreme polarity, the illusion, the crises, whatever, the drama continues to get louder and louder next to us?
Oh,
Will
yes, dear
we?
friend, because you are creating
Yeah,
your reality.
yeah, okay.
So you see, it's not in our hands, it's in yours.
That's what I mean. So,
Okay.
I guess what I was saying is that predetermined or is that the experiment? What
Well,
we
that's
can
a great,
do?
yeah. Sorry, Todd, go on.
No, no, that's it. Yeah.
All right, dear friend, that is the paradox. We're just excited to clear all these ideas up here. Dear friend, that is the paradox that humanity is seeking to resolve through this crisis in particular, which is, can I allow others to go through very difficult circumstances, keeping my heart open, loving, compassionate, without losing myself in the drama, or without having to sacrifice myself to the drama, to stay small or silent,
Mm-hmm.
or be in agreement with everyone in the tribe, even though I know the truth is different than what others believe in my heart of hearts. So you see, it is calling forth, absolutely, valuing the truth, Todd, trusting your truth, giving it voice, and sharing that space with others as you're doing here. Wonderful. And inviting everyone to dig deeper into
Yeah.
their hearts, into their personal relationship with their own spiritual nature, and to not settle for a reality that is less than what you know is possible.
Yeah, as much. Oh, I'm sorry. I was going back into interview mode.
Dear friend,
Pardon me. Pardon me. Let me
you're
get back
fine, dear
into the.
friend.
Let me get
Chat
back
away.
into.
We're having a wonderful time. God bless you. Yeah.
Oh, it was a different stream there. I had two streams going.
Well, we'll take any stream you want to put us on. How about that?
Oh God, I lost it a little bit. Topic,
Well,
topic. Okay, let me find
let's.
a topic. How about I'm in a what I consider to be a truth for me, a divine union,
Yeah,
a
beautiful.
external, like an external creation in my universe that's physical,
Yes,
and so on with the.
we call it love where we come from, Todd. Yes.
Yeah,
God bless you, dear
I'm
friend.
liking it. But
Yeah, it's a
is
good thing.
there a some people channel and talk about it, templates, or say original blueprints, and that we're given that it's made available. People or souls are coming together with that. And this is just one example. Say sacred union. Does
Yes.
sacred union play? Is there like I don't want to say strategy, but like we planned all this, we came down and we're implementing something. We're connected to that.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
but I mean, is it part of a lot of people talk about twin flames, and that's kind of been bastardized and distorted. But I mean, is there an energy of two people coming together, regardless of gender? I mean, I'm talking about two people coming together in that have achieved a certain level of divine union within themselves and then create a third energy by coming together? Is there some
Yes,
truth?
yes, of course, that's true. But you see, the challenge is that's absolutely true, and you're part of that, and everyone is experiencing some form of that more and more,
Yeah.
because you see, the other side of it is it's always going to be based on your belief and based on your free will and based on your willingness to grow, to heal, and
Mm.
to learn about love.
Mm.
You see, everyone comes to this planet forgetting nearly all of who they are, and then going on the search to remember who they are. And everything that feels good brings you back in alignment more deeply with who you are. And
Mm.
everything that feels bad is a rejection of who you are on one level or another. And as you progress, as you have and your partner and everyone here, you become a clearer mirror to shine your light and share your love. And so the more you do that on the human level, loving yourself, loving your partner, loving the people in your life, treating others the way you want to be treated, with love and respect, treating Mother Earth with love and respect, all of that, then you become a better truster, Todd, a more open and receptive and more grateful and expanded in
Yeah.
your ability to receive the grace and the love that life wants to pour forth on all of you. So yes, to come back to your bigger question here about the changes of this time and everyone's awakening, each person is doing it in their own time, in their own way, just like they are relating to love and the challenges and the opportunities of life. This time is flooding you with spiritual resources in so many different ways, and you're a part of that, and we salute you and we thank you. And many are awakening to their path as teachers, healers, and artists, we say again. And dear friends, there will be tremendous messages and visions and ideas and energies and inspirations that will blow your minds. But it's not about the mind, dear friends. It's about the heart. And
Mm-hmm.
what humanity is focused on now more than ever before is the power of love. And you see, dear friends, whether you see life as a conspiracy, and that's fine, or you see people lying to you all the time, and that's fine. You can see, of course, whatever you believe, and that's your right to decide that. But what we want to say is the truth is a very important commodity in your world at this moment. And what
One of us froze.
that's where they're
Oh,
creating serious on this vibration where they've made peace with themselves, as you have. Yeah, that's
yeah.
where they have greater freedom and greater opportunities to serve.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a good flow there. no wonder.
Thank you, dear Fred.
No wonder your
We have a lot of
vehicle is a good.
practice over here.
no wonder
A
your
lot of
vehicle is
practice.
right in the way he's right. Um, how
Practice
long?
everything, Todd. Everything you want to get better at, simply practice. That's the
Absolutely.
secret. Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely, dear friend.
These kids that are coming in, these
Yeah,
kids, even little bitty kids, like 1 month old. I had a conversation with a 3 month old. I saw a
God bless
3 year
you.
old, not even that is um, more than woke. But anyway, the frequency they carry.
Yes, yes,
You know, I've only met two or three of them, but they got to be all over this world. I mean,
yes,
we're all energy. I
yes.
can't see it taking very long, and I'm talking like months or a year or 2 years, where their impact energetically to the grid of the earth will start to really be having an impact on our collective experience. What are your thoughts on
Sure.
that?
Yes, well, you're quite right, and it already is. And whether it's from the tiny ones, newly arrived, or the young ones in schools, or the teenagers, or the 20-somethings, all of them have a greater sense of authority within themselves about their own free will, and a greater sense of the sacredness of life and the respect for life, dear
Mm.
friends. Yeah, in general. So the paradox here again, you see, is that you come into this world at this time, dear friends, to experience and to offer greater impact on your own belief systems, your own thoughts and feelings, your own philosophies of life, etc., and upon others. And so what is right now a trickle of ideas and information and inspiration will become a stream. Yeah, before you know it, certainly is increasing dramatically this year, and will become a flood before this decade is over. So
Mm.
it's not that people don't have a free will. Of course, that is inherent and essential on the path of being human. It's that your free will being the example, the inspiration, the children doing the same, loving, inspiring, uh, changing perspective, showing what's possible, being different in ways that help others to imagine themselves becoming different and freer, and all of that. All of that is working its magic in every human heart. And we say again, it is always only truly about love.
Yeah.
Humanity was living in a paradise at one point in other civilizations, and things happened, yeah, and it's taken a long, long, long time to come back to this place where you can have heaven on earth. You can bring heaven to your experience. You can have that kind of love that you're describing. You can build and step into the template of a new relationship, a new culture, a new community, a new civilization. All of that is there. But of course, people must be in these vibrations entirely of their own free will, you
Mhm.
understand? So that's the
Is
choice.
is the purpose of the experience or the experiment, as you referred to it earlier,
Yeah,
is it to lay down new templates, an expanded blueprint,
yeah.
a new sacred text, so to speak,
Yes,
energetically speaking?
yes, dear friend, to create the new. That's what life is. That's the darkness and the light, once again. The darkness is infinite, the light is finite. The light looks upon the darkness and says, be new, be different, show me more. I
Yeah.
want this, I believe this, I long for this, I imagine this, you understand? Absolutely. So it is creating the new beyond what people imagine is possible. You see, when you have a deeper intimacy, as everyone is gaining more and more every day, with your soul, your spirit, your higher self, when people are meditating, affirming, praying, not as a beseechment, but as an acknowledgement, journaling, writing, creating, painting, music, gardening, all of those wonderful heart opening things, loving your family and friends, loving your partner, loving life, then you are truly celebrating this gift of life. And then the new earth, the higher vibration of things, the new answers, the new possibilities can and will absolutely come through each and every one of you. And that is your joy, dear friends, to say, look what I've discovered, look what is possible, look who I've become, dear friends. That is that's where you're all headed. You see, it's so exciting.
Mm. Yeah, it is exciting. It is exciting. It's nice too because regardless of what's going on, for the most part, what I see out there, uh, you still have the polarity playing or the old programs playing. But whether it's a worldwide thing or there's been a lot of people transitioning, for instance, lately.
Yes,
Even like say Kobe Bryant, on someone on
yes,
the world stage. But
yes. He
the
opened a lot of
the
hearts, coming and going, dear
yeah,
friends.
but
Yeah,
but the reaction to the energy of the symbology of death, even like what I've noticed with people that are say so and so passed, and we had a dear friend pass a while back. The energy
yes.
of the response seems to be different. It seems to be coming from a higher awareness, understanding that it's not real.
Well, dear
And
friend, the veil, yes, the veil is getting thinner, and you're remembering more of how reality works on a grander level, bigger,
yeah,
bigger picture.
yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
So they,
Go on.
yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, I was just, I was just pondering that. It's like, it's, our experience as I'm talking to you, I can almost see, I can see it. What am I talking about? How we came from the total darkness on this
Yeah.
series of incarnations or whatever you want to call it, Earth or whatever. We were in total darkness, and that we were seated in the womb, and now we've gone through all of this. Look where we've come from.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
this is, well, let me ask you, is this rebirth? Because that's certainly what it seems like.
Oh,
Is there
yes.
some? Is this like I don't know, a point in time, an extraordinary moment for the universe. I mean,
Yes.
is there a universal significance to what we're doing and where we're going?
God, dear friend, absolutely. You've said it beautifully. Humanity is going through the greatest spiritual awakening that has ever or will ever occur, as far as we can see so far. Yeah. And you are going through more shifts more quickly up the ladder of consciousness than has ever occurred. We'll just
Mm,
stay with where you come from, as you said, and how far you've come. Dear friends, you're closer than you dare imagine to living a more joyous and conscious life, and your willingness to believe in yourself, to believe in your dreams and desires, to believe in your worth. You see, dear friends, when people are, you're a white t-shirt and they're a black t-shirt, you're a red baseball cap and they're a blue baseball cap, you see, you're a man in this lifetime and they're a woman, etc., whatever. You happen to be white, they happen to be black. Okay, so all of that is completely superficial, you understand. But what you are as spiritual beings is your heart, soul, and spirit, which you are here to explore and express in this experiment called life, yeah, which is always growing, changing, and expanding. The great challenge here, you see, for humanity is you have all lived through lifetimes when the world appeared to end. We'll just
mm,
put our cards on the table for our visit here today. And this is one of those moments when people may convince themselves that there's no hope, it's all too much, and end of game. Yeah. But dear
yeah,
friends, we promise you that's completely subjective.
yeah.
So we said earlier, you create your own reality. So of course you can decide, no matter what is happening for others, I am going to keep my center on love and truth and peace. And I'm going to be a clear and open channel to help people awaken and remember. And then, dear friends, they will, and the darkness will pass. And so, what has seemed too good to be true for many in your world at the end of all of this, so say the end of this year, yeah, people will look back on these times and think, my goodness, I grew more in this experience than my whole life put together. And dear friends, that's only because now you're in a collective crisis rather than an individual one. So
Mm.
it requires that not only you personally take responsibility, each of you, God bless you as you are, exploring, reaching, seeking, looking, searching for new ideas, searching for new information, new inspiration, what feels true, what feels helpful. Is it going to be traditional? Is it going to be alternative? Will it be Reiki? Will it be prayer, dear friends? It will be whatever you allow it to be, dear friends, that helps you to know that you are safe, loved, and supported, and all is truly well. As you, Todd, everyone listening here, maintains that vibration 51% of the time, dear friends, then the darkness will recede and the light will truly begin to become predominant in your experience. That's the initiation we see the world undergoing at this time.
Let's talk a little bit of spirit science. One last question.
Certainly.
You mentioned earlier that the human body, in order to adapt and actually live uh,
Yeah.
in the expansion of this consciousness we call Earth,
Yeah.
will have to adapt, modify, elevate, refine as time goes on. What methods would you suggest in terms of that transformation from carbon based to light body, both in practices and let's just say in what we ingest or our habits, things like
Sure.
that?
Sure. Bless you. Well, dear friend, that's a wonderful question. Yeah. More light, more breath, more air, more nature, more green things in the body in any way you can put them in there and get them in there. And those things that, of course, raise your vibration, raise your spirit, excuse us, raise your spirits. So you put on some happy music and you get out of the shower before work and you give yourself a little happy dance. Before you go off with your day, you like your cup of coffee in the morning, and you say, you know what, I am so grateful that this is here. This is blessing me, blessing my health, blessing my body. All is well for me. All is good. You bless your food. You bless your water. You bless those things that, and those people that you care about, the resources, the shower, the roof over my head, etc., etc. Everything you're blessing, everything you're appreciating, everything you're celebrating, yeah, is going to continue to help you shine your light and share your love. It's going to continue to help you open your heart to love and light. Dear friends, it's going to continue to allow you to have a more intimate, a more personal, and a more profound experience of your oneness with all that is, also known as spirit. Todd, dear friend, we thank you. We love you. Peace and blessings. Namaste.
Right on. Thank you. Thank you, man.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. You probably need a drink of water, don't you?
I'll have a drink of water. Yeah. Did you want to ask something else there at the end?
No. We're good. We're good.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
That felt like they were saying, we've done it.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
this is
Okay.
telepathy at its best. I mean, you know.
We hope so. Yeah.
I mean, we're just all putting our pieces together, you know. I mean, that's all there is to it.
Sure enough.
And everything
enough.
carries code.
Yes.
And it's not even so much in what we say. You know what I mean? It's so, I still stand by the belief that our highest activations, downloads, transmissions, and channelings and code sharing come from having conversations like this, whether you're, you know, in privacy, just you and someone else, or even if you're in your own bedroom talking to the universe, you can expand in that connection any place, anytime, and increase the energy field of your sovereignty. I'm soul.
Right. Right. You're quite right, brother. The secret is opening our hearts. I wanted to say that. You know, when I had that awakening experience years ago, the message was open your heart, open your heart, open your heart. And that's how that awakening experience came from. And so when you're asking me, what are my guides about? What's their message? The message is open your heart. Yeah. That's it in a nutshell.
When in doubt, open your heart.
Yeah, man. It's a winner every time.
I've said that before, you know, I've you know, integrated reptilians and archons and whatever comes before us, you know. I mean, it's, you know, I don't know. It seems like the non-physical things were really big, you know, and reached a point 2-3 years ago where, you know, I'm all aspects of dark and light, but it's in the little things, it's in the human things where we ignore or we're unconscious of the dark and light in every situation, every person, everything that we experience, where the real opportunity is growth. And I guess that is what they call embodying, the same embodying that you were talking about earlier. Man, we'll have to do this again.
Thank you.
Yeah, send me.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. You're very welcome. Send me your ebooks, and
great.
Yeah, we'll collaborate again down the road. And you know,
great. Can I tell people about my website?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is that all right? Yeah. So loumartin.org is how people can find me for sessions, and I'm on Facebook. And my group is Awakened Spirits Network on Facebook, or Lightheart 2012 for my page.
Right on. Right on. You might want to put them in the comments as well. All right, everybody. We're going to be possibly doing an impromptu broadcast in an hour. And 2 hours after that, we have a really cool couple from Australia, the Green Shields. And very cool. So, all right, man, you take care. Best.
Thanks,
to you
Todd.
All blessings.
Thank you, sir. Peace and blessings. You too. Man. The best, Morgan. Cheers.
Till the next time.